Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how.
What's up, guys? This is Shay McNuckles. I'm with Geek Plus Magazine, sitting here with the beautiful Shay McNuckles with Tax Preparation Services.
Hi.
How are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm beautiful. I'm so happy to have you here with us with our Mentoring Business series.
Yay, I'm so happy to be here.
Finally, beautiful. Well, first of all, tell us about your business. What does a tax preparer do?
A tax preparer can do a few things. We do individual and business tax return. We process them and prepare them. On the business side, we help prep our owners with things that they can write off, what deductions and expenses they qualify for. And with everyone, we ensure that they receive their maximum refund as possible. We also do tax resolution, which is also called tax debt relief. So basically, if you owe the IRS a lot of money, we'll help you negotiate with the IRS, and sometimes we can get that down to less than half or even zero.
That's amazing. As you can see, she's a tax preparer. So guys, I know that season's coming up, and we know you guys are wanting to not only call her, but get the maximum refund.
Maximum refund.
Rapid.
Yes.
Wonderful. Well, we know that there's a lot of people that want to start businesses, a lot of young entrepreneurs that are enthused and just ready to see what's the meat and gravy all about. So we're going to get of being an entrepreneur.
I love that.
So we're going to jump right into it. How long have you been a tax preparer?
So this is my 11th year. And so I've been a full-time entrepreneur for 2 years. But before, I was working corporate and doing my business on the side, managing my business on the side, which a lot of people do.
Like most of us, yeah.
And so one day, God just told me like it was time to go, it was time to leap, and it was time to take a step on faith. And I've been doing it full time. When I left my employer, I was like, okay, they did a RIF, and I was like, okay, well, I got a laptop, can you give me my personal laptop? So I got taxes to do, you know. And so I think it's a good thing when you can build while you're working a 9 to 5. It's a lot of work,
of course,
a lot of late nights, but it can be done.
Man, and that's another thing that we would want the entrepreneurs to know, that they have to be able to juggle both until you're actually pushed to the limit.
Yes.
Or you push yourself to the limit. I myself was pushed to the limit. So
yes, and you know what? There are a lot of late nights, but you do what it takes. Like if you're dedicated, if you're consistent, if you're disciplined enough to say, hey, because a lot of times I would come home, I'm like, oh, I don't feel like doing these taxes. And I would be up at 12, 1, 2, 3 in the morning and have to turn around and get back up at 6 a.m. when I was working corporate just to, you know, get that steady Eddie paycheck.
Yeah, and it's important, especially when you have other things going on. So how important is it to have a mentor while you're starting a business?
I have a different perspective. I think it's important, but personally, I didn't have a mentor, a business mentor. I don't have a business mentor. But I think it's important to have one if you can, because I made a lot of mistakes, right? And of course, when you make mistakes, you're more wiser. And so I'll give you, for example, I did my website or paid someone the first time. I didn't really know how to work with a website designer or anything, and it was like $1,200.
Wow.
Exactly. And it was not what I wanted at all. And so I had to go back in and do more research, because I'm not that creative design person. I'm a numbers person, and I'm an innovator and things like that. So I was like, oh, okay, listen, learn, ask more questions, you know, read the contracts more thoroughly.
Yeah, because some people would think that they would know, like that you don't know, but they're just trying to get paid and do their job.
Exactly.
Or have their job.
Have more understanding of what my vision was and try to explain that to them as clearly as possible. So I lost that much money. I lost $1,200 the first time, but it's okay because I learned more knowledge. So when I got my website updated a second time, I knew what to say. I knew what questions to ask. So I think having a mentor helps you reduce the amount of time, because a lot of times you spend so much time on who do I connect with, what resources are out there, especially free resources, what are you using? Those are certain questions that an aspiring entrepreneur wants to know. Like, I use a lot of free resources.
Perfect.
For my business, and I didn't have anyone to say, hey, you should put systems in place. You would want a mentor to say, put systems in place, put policies in place, put procedures in place. If you're working a corporate job, you look at your business the same way. What structure does that corporate environment have, and how can I implement or have some of those takeaways to implement into my business?
Of course, like what guidance am I needing every day? So we would say that it is important to have a mentor, but in your perspective, you did not have one.
I did not, and so I read a lot of books. Like, literally, it's one book that I will say changed my perspective about being an entrepreneur. Initially, when I started my business, it was just me. And so I read a book called Cash Flow Quadrant. And so in that book, it talks about investors, business owners, a self-employed person, and employees. And it broke it down by how their thought patterns are, what their philosophies are. And I didn't realize for so long, I've been in business 11 years, so about 8, 9 of those years, I was thinking like a self-employed person. I didn't have any documented processes. I didn't have any systematic automation within my business. I didn't have employees that I was hiring. Those are things that you want to think about. Scaling. How can you, what do you need to take your business to the next level?
And leveling up,
And leveling up. So I use, you know, people I see on Instagram who I think are inspirational, books to just acquire more knowledge, and it's like my mentors in a sense. They don't know.
Gotcha. They don't even know that you are there. You're looking at them and you're taking in. That's why it's important for us to be mindful of what we do every day, because of people that are listening. Because I know now people are wanting for you to be their mentors.
Yes, I get. Oh, I'm so humble. Every time someone is like, Shay, can you be my mentor? I'm like, me? I'm like, oh my gosh. But I am mentoring a girl named Crystal, and she is amazing. She's 25. She just stepped away from corporate America, has her own business, and I helped her. I sat down and helped her do her financial budget, because that's what I'm good in, right? And I also just helped her strategize. I reviewed her documents. So she put together an amazing handbook, policies and procedures, and she's like, hey, can you look over this? And I did, to give her feedback, and she's like, I trust your honest opinion. So I'm always humble when people are like, can you be my mentor? I'm like, what?
That's why, and that's why it's important to have one. So we thank you for even reaching out to her, or in this case, for even giving her that time of yours. So that's amazing. She's going to help someone along the way as well. What resources have you used in the past to network with some of the other entrepreneurs?
So I use meetup.com to connect more so on the investor side, so I can understand how investors think. And just in case if I ever get to that point where I want to have investors to invest in my business. I also throw parties myself. So I did a vision board party at the beginning of the year to network with other people. And then I attend other networking events as well. Social media is big. I just make sure I post every day about my business or what I'm doing. And you'll be surprised about how many, I get so many questions in my DM and in my inbox about, hey Shay, I'm trying to do this. Like one person said, hey, I'm trying to get a grant. You were the first person I thought about. Have you gotten a grant before? And I was like, no, I haven't gotten a grant before, but let me look into my network, because I know a friend who audits grants for small business owners. So let me look into it to see if she knows. And so it's a lot of that, just using my internal network, people I went to high school with. Social media is so huge. So I just try to talk to people, be nice to people, see what people need, and then
building those
relationships. So important.
Yes, so I understand that. Because there's different areas of businesses. So how have you definitely been able to kind of use those to, you know, for the different areas of business?
Yes, and believe it or not, like Bible study. I met like one of my business partners at Bible study, and they were like, how did you know her? I was like, we met at Bible study, and we just both said, hey, this is what we want to do. We were talking about what we like to do, and we just said, okay, let's do it. And then co-workers everywhere. You just have to open your mouth and talk to people.
I think that's a problem with how I got in, business at first, because I was like, that's going to be a problem for me. Like, I don't talk. But then it's like, it has become so natural. Hi. So it's like, now, hey, look
at you talking right now.
Wow. Look at those resources. Right. They worked right on out.
Yeah.
So we're going to get right back into it. Are there any standard rules that you believe are important in building a successful business?
I wouldn't say there is a right way or wrong way. I think rules basically say like, hey, you must do X, Y, and do X, Y, and Z. I said X, Y, and do.
Okay.
X, Y, and do. Make sure you do.
Make sure you do it.
Yeah. But
just do it.
Just do it, Nike. But I do think that there are certain things, certain qualities that you must have in order to be successful. You must be disciplined, consistent, and you gotta hustle. You gotta grind. Like, I don't know anybody, unless you have a trust fund parent, a wealthy parent, who didn't have to do those things.
Amazing.
But so I think there are no certain rules, but any way that you can automate, think about technology, where technology is going. That's why I'm so excited about Geek Plus magazine, because
Thank you.
Technology is so important. I recently looked at a video on the Harvard Business Review, and the professor was talking about how every business is a technology business.
Wow.
And when they said that, I was like, that is so true.
Yes.
Every business, no matter what business you're in, you should be looking at it from a technology standpoint.
Wow.
So
I spoke a word, spoke volume.
Yes, it did. It spoke so much volume to me, because even in my industry, I'm like, technology. How can we be innovative with technology? But going back to your question about rules, I think as long as you have those three main things, you hustle, you're consistent, you grind, you'll be successful. Everyone has their own different path. Like, I can tell you what I did. I can say, hey, I worked a corporate job, started to build my clientele, left corporate America, and here I am today. Some people go get a grant, some people get a loan. But I do think to be successful, you must have systems in place. And you have to understand every aspect of your business. I think from the lowest of the lowest to the tallest of the tallest. Like, I do real estate investing, and I had Vinny come painting walls. Like, you have to know how. Vinny is my son. He's 6. So you have to come in and do the dirty work. You have to. He is. So I think it's understanding your business, hustle, discipline, being consistent, and then putting systems in place. That are like the 4 things.
Beautiful. That's beautiful, and that's very important. Everything that you were saying about the consistency and the hard work, like there's really not a real definite rule book.
It's not.
You're gonna always have different industries that there are gonna be different industries that's gonna allow you to do different things.
Yep.
So you have to just stay on top of consistent networking, grinding, in order to be able to succeed.
To be successful, the more you do it, you're putting yourself out there. Like you said, it's no rule book. It's just like parenting. Parenting ain't no rule book.
Yes, true. There's no rules in parenting.
No, you make them up as you go along.
I'm gonna whoop you tomorrow for what you did today.
Yes.
Because I'm tired today.
Tired.
So I'm gonna whoop you tomorrow.
Yes.
Don't forget that.
Don't. To-do list. Whoop, baby.
That is so true. Whoop on my account. So what is a day like with you, with the entrepreneur Shay? What does it look like? What does a day look like with you?
A typical day. No day is ever the same.
Oh, there we go. That just summed it up.
It's never the same, because I can have my to-do list, which I create like a small to-do list. My goal every day for my business is to do something, at least something for your business every day. No matter how small it is, no matter how big it is. So today, my goals was calling my employees to just touch base to see how they were doing. I did that. Hooray!
Yeah.
You know?
Perfect.
Checked it off the list. But usually I'll check emails or meet with clients. Depending on, like, I already sat down and did my marketing campaign for 2018, 2019. Thank you. Which I've never done before. This was my first year doing that.
So you got it, like, you're already in 19.
Yes.
As an entrepreneur, you have to be in 19.
You have to be innovative. You have to think forward. You have to be forward thinking. You have to just do it. Like, I don't feel like I have all the qualities to get everything done, but I know people, I have a network, and then I know how to get things done.
Yes.
You know?
And that's Geek Plus, that's what we're all about, innovative life and thinking forward, because that's how we know we're going to get to the future and actually stay there. Because the past can't do anything about what happened, but we can definitely move forward.
Move forward.
All right. Is that pretty much it for a day with Shay?
A day with Shay, I'm meeting with clients. Well, right now, it depends on the season too. So
see?
If you catch me in the summer, in the summertime, people do not think I work. They be like, you don't do nothing, you just travel the world. And I'm like, that's the summertime. So I have 9 months out the year that I hustle, I grind hard. So right now, this is November. And so I am doing my tax classes. So every week until the end of December, I'm doing a tax class Wednesday through Saturday from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. So I'm a mommy first. So it starts with me getting Vinny up in the day, taking care of all of my mommy duties, and then taking a look at my email. I work off my phone. Constantly.
You have to have a good phone, guys.
You have to have a good phone and Wi-Fi. So I'm typically checking emails. I have to keep my gospel music playing.
Oh yes, come on, Mr.
I have to keep my spiritual life. I have a reminder in my phone that says keep calm, think clearly every single day. I want to stay calm, I want to think clearly. So I make sure I feed my spirit.
Of course.
I have to every single day. If I don't, I'm off. So I feed my spirit, and then I look at my emails, meet with clients, and then right now we're in tax season, so preparing. So I did my marketing stuff, so I'm preparing for next year, and then in January through April, preparing taxes.
Child, we're gonna all be ready to see Shay.
Yes.
She's my tax lady too, guys. So believe me, we're gonna be ready to see her, and she's thorough. So you might as well go ahead and I'm gonna put the little name at the bottom. You might as well go ahead and hit her up.
Yes, I'll take care of you.
Child, yes, she will.
And you're gonna learn. You're going to learn.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Thank you, Ash.
You're very welcome. We love you. We thank you for coming and giving us your time. So do you feel your services are pertinent to all entrepreneurs, and why?
Oh my gosh, yes. So definitely. And taxes is one of those things when an entrepreneur understands that tax law is really for investors and business owners.
Wonderful.
It's not really for individuals. Unless you're super wealthy.
Yes.
Some poor people, but really, not really. Once you understand tax law, it has you thinking differently. I decided this year to build my team mostly of entrepreneurs, and I did that intentionally because I wanted to educate them. And everyone who goes through tax training that's an entrepreneur, they're like, their mouth just drops to the floor.
I bet it does.
You know what to write off. You know how to use capital gains if you're an investor. You know how to take your business income, turn yourself into an investor so that your money is working both sides. You know what deductions you can write off, what expenses you can write. There are so many. It literally will blow your mind. Which is why next year I said, you know what, I think I'm going to do a tax training class for real estate agents and in entrepreneurs only, because I want to be able to educate.
And it would be more helpful because of the fact that we as entrepreneurs, we're dealing with everyday, like you don't have the right insurance, you don't have the I don't know, like you say, the tax brackets that you would be in for a normal corporation if you're working for another company. So it does tweak, and it's very different. I can imagine because I'm there, but I don't understand everything, but I can only imagine.
It does. And you brought up a very good point about insurance. Like when you're self-employed, instead of getting a health insurance plan under your name, why not get the health insurance plan under your business name so you can write off that medical insurance? And it's a medical expense. It's a medical write-off. Like, it has you thinking differently. If you have your own business, purchase your next car in your business name.
Why are you not writing this down? That's what we need to be asking you guys. You should have had a pen and a paper a long time ago. Restart the video because you're probably going to need a pen and paper for the next couple of questions.
Yes, yes. Yes, write
wonderful
it
information.
down.
But people don't know. Entrepreneurs don't know these type of things. That's why it's our responsibility to get it out to the audience, to get it out to people, so we can be able to teach.
Yes.
Each one teach one.
Each one teach one, and that's what it's about. That's what it's about. That's how we grow within our community.
Oh my goodness. So, how important is mental health for you?
Oh my God.
As an entrepreneur.
Mental health is so important. I'll admit I haven't always been good in this area because I'm like a go-getter and I'll literally work myself until I'm sick, and I'm like, okay, Shay, you can't do that. It's not benefiting you, your baby, your clients, no one, business, anything.
Yes.
Mental health is so important. That's why I have to listen to my gospel. I have to read my word, and then I take the whole summers off. And I do that from when my son leaves for the summer with his dad in May all the way up until August. My child's father, my ex-husband, he brings him back the first day of school, and I am okay with that because
that's an amazing break. Or in this case, you can just relax and
do whatever I want to do. So when people meet me, I'm like two different persons, two different people throughout the year. I'm like this whole free spirit, just letting it all hang out, waking up late, staying up late, doing whatever, you know. And so I make sure the whole summer I take that time for me, because I know how hard I work. I know how hard I'll have to work coming up. And then mental health is so important, because if you don't take care of it, you'll always think you're not doing good enough.
Yeah.
You'll always think you're missing out on something. It'll never be enough. You're burned out. You will not want to do business. You will not want to get up. You will literally get sick. I've had that happen where I was down 2 weeks last year because I was very sick, because I was working extremely long hours. It's not a good feeling. And it's not something we should do. So I make sure every day I at least take in the word of God, because that's what works for me.
Yes.
And then I make sure if I can do things here and there, like get a massage. I'm planning that very soon. I think it's gonna be my Christmas gift to myself, like getting a massage.
Going.
You getting a massage?
Going with you?
Yes, come.
Yes.
And then the whole summer, I just take the whole summer off.
That's wonderful. Like, I know people don't have that luxury to do that, you know, as an entrepreneur, but those that do, or in this case, those that, you know, are able to take that much time or some time off, do it. It's important.
But I think anybody can do anything if you plan to do it. I know that's what I want to do, so I plan. So
okay. How do you accomplish your goals in business?
So at the beginning of the year, for the past few years, what I've done, I've actually written out my goals. And you know how it says, write the vision, make it plain. I've literally taken out time to write out different areas of my goals. So I'll do business, family, and then I'll do small things like financial. I'll say, hey, this is how much money I want to make this year. This is how many of each of my services I would need to do to hit that number, so I can kind of track it as I go along. I'll also write out, just like if I want to take a certain amount of trips, my mental health, I include all of that. So at the beginning of the year, I just write down a whole list of what my goals are for the year for me. If it's to hire a certain amount of people, which this year it was to hire 30 people, and I've done that. I'm at 29, so 29 as of today.
So that's 29 tax preparers?
Yes.
Wow.
29. I went from the mud. I came from the mud, okay? So here, I just can't believe it. So that was one of my goals.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. To figure out my marketing, to actually do a marketing campaign, that was one of my goals at the beginning of the year. So I do some measurable things in terms of quantitative numbers, like my projections as far as like how much I want to make, how many of these services I want to do, how many tax affairs, and then I do some qualitative, like for quality, what next level I want to have a more social media presence, what I need to do for that. So I'll typically do that at the beginning of the year, and then throughout the year I break it down, right? So for my revenue, I know how much I need to make each month. I know how much I need to make each year. I know what I need to charge. I know all of that, bit by bit, down to the nitty gritty. How much I need to charge, how many I need to do per week. And it should lead up to the overall annual revenue. For tax preparers, I knew how many weeks my recruiting week would be. I knew how many I needed to interview that week, and how many I needed to hire that week, and how many I needed to train that week.
Wow.
And so, and then for my marketing campaign, I basically just sat down one day for 4 hours and knocked out my entire marketing campaign for 2019, the end of 2018, 2019.
And see, those are some big goals. And then for the fact that you know how that you're going to lay them out, it's like you have to have a vision. You have to have a plan.
You have to have a vision. And I think that's ultimately what it is. Like, my gift, I know that I'm a visionary. I know that I'm an innovator. I may not know how to do X to Y and Z and like put it all together. Yeah. Which is why networking is so important.
Use your resources, guys.
Using your resources is so important, because I can simply pay attention to everybody on social media, on everything. I already have a list of people that I want to work with who are on social media, who may not even know that I'm watching them, right? And so
observing.
I have roles for them. I have things like, and it's not even like that they're in that profession there, but they probably have certain qualities. So that's another one of my goals, like to hire the right people. And certain people I just want to give jobs because I like their personality, I like what they're doing, I like their hustle, I like certain things. And so yeah, I typically, and then my to-do list should match up with my overall goals that I wrote down at the beginning of the year. And then I'll just scratch them off as I go along. So,
and it feels good when you have done that. You feel good when you have literally taken those goals and you write them down, and then you look up and they're there. They're there,
and you'll be surprised. You have to have like some small goals on there too. Well, most people think nothing is small to me compared to business. So if I put all of the email addresses in my CRM, that's a huge goal for me.
That's a huge accomplishment.
Yes. So when I did that, I scratched it off. I'm like, yes. And you just got to be able to celebrate those wins.
Yes. When you left the house, all the dishes was out the sink.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Getting my son to school on time for a week straight. Thank you. Goals.
Shades for real. But that's so true. That's amazing.
Yeah.
We thank you for that advice.
Sure.
How do you train to be an entrepreneur? Is there some type of rule book that you use?
Girl. Da da da. Da da da.
Superwoman here.
I don't know if you can train. You know how most people say, how do you know how to be a mom? You just know. Or if you're married, how did you know that he was the one? You just know. It is nothing you can train for, okay? People can give you tips and tools. But what I've learned, if you don't have those three main things, hustle and determination, if you're not disciplined, if you're not consistent, it don't matter. I can give you my whole rule book. I can give you everything that I've done.
Everything. Every
single thing. One, if it's not for you, it's not for you. And two, if you don't do it, if you don't have those three things, it won't be successful. Yeah. Like, I can tell, I've literally sat down, and people are like, how are you so financially conscious? I've literally sat down, done budgets with people, showed them, say, hey, this is what you need to do. Sometimes they do it. Sometimes they don't. Yeah. If you don't take action and implement those things, it doesn't matter if I give you a rule book. That's why it's no rule book. Yeah. Because those people are consistent. We wake up every day and do.
Yeah, and we find out along the way.
Yes. Yes. And failure is just
power.
Power.
Turned it into power.
Yes. Failure is experience. Failure is wisdom. Like, I literally go in, I do worst case scenarios and best case scenarios for the different businesses, right?
Gotcha.
And like on the real estate deal that I did, I lost like $2,100, but I learned so much. So that was the cost. Yeah. Like if you're going to school, it's the tuition. Yes. So failure is like the tuition for knowledge. and experience.
That's so beautiful.
It is.
We appreciate that advice, and we know that there's so many things that are coming up with the tax season. So you guys don't need to hit her up. You want to be a tax preparer, or you need the assistant and don't know where to go. I would personally suggest Shay, not only because you are a great mentor in business, but because of the fact that you're going to get a thorough lesson on what
you will. Thank you so much, Ashley.
You're very welcome. We're going to play a game here that we like to play at Geek Plus. It's called Geeks or That, okay?
Okay.
Just something simple, trying to break to see what type of geek she really is.
Okay.
Or is she a that? Okay. iPhone or Android?
Okay. Okay, let me just say this, okay? Because before I say my answer, because this particular group, they have a bad stigma about them.
Oh,
I had a Nokia phone for the longest, okay?
Okay, Nokia phone.
Nokia, and I literally had a Nokia phone 4 years ago.
Oh God.
3 or 4 years ago. My first iPhone, my friend gave me. And my second one, my friend gave me too. So I've never had to really buy one, but I'm team iPhone because iPhone literally has everything that I need. I put everything in my calendar. I say, Siri, set an alarm for this. Siri, create a calendar invite for this.
Gotcha.
She is like my virtual personal assistant.
So she has never had a taste of Android. Now I see where it goes. Alright, we're good.
Team iPhone.
Okay, we're okay. Now we see where I need to train her. Okay.
Yes.
Jogging or hiking?
Girl. Listen, I do not like to run. So
I know we're walking.
I do not like to run. But I do like hiking because it's like, I've hiked before.
Okay.
And I like the outdoors. I like the freedom. I like to see creation.
Yes, God's creation, honey.
Yes, God's creation.
Hamburgers or tacos?
Girl, those are both my favorites. I can eat a hamburger and a taco on the same meal. I don't know what y'all talking about. Give me a double cheeseburger with mayo, pickles, and onions, baby tomatoes, depends on how I'm feeling. And a taco with just meat, cheese.
So we got both. Basically, we're going to the one store. They're gonna have both of those.
Yes.
The dollar store. I mean, the corner store.
Yes.
I've never been on a train, but train or plane?
Plane.
Okay.
I love to fly.
Gotcha.
I do.
Chevy or Ford?
Chevy or Ford? Okay.
Some people say they like their Ford trucks. I don't know.
Okay.
It's different strokes for different folks, different perspectives for different hectics.
I've had my car for 6 years. It's the only car I've ever owned.
Oh wow.
And it's a Honda. So I don't even know. Honda's not.
Maybe that's just me. Sorry. I've owned a couple of cars.
And I probably won't buy another until that Honda goes out. It's like 160,000 miles on it right now. And so I don't know. Chevy. But you know what? I'm going to say Ford. And this is why. Because at the state fair, they have the Ford where you can win a $50 gift card if you test drive. And I always test drive.
And it's so nice. They're so nice. They upgraded. So it's like, Chevy, I like you.
But Ford Expedition.
Ford, I'm probably going to be calling you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, we like Fords. Or in this case, I know I do.
Yes.
Well, Shay, thank you. So go ahead, shout out your platform and tell them where they can find you.
You can find me on Instagram, Shay Does My Taxes. You can find me on Facebook, Shay McNuckles Tax Preparation. You can also find me on my website, www.shaymcnuckles.com, McNuckles. I just partnered with an amazing company, Cashback. So now we are Shay McNuckles partnered with Cashback.
All right now.
And so we're in Arlington. Come visit us.
Come to the storefront, guys.
Yes, come 2822 South Cooper Street. So we're near the Parks Mall.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so 2822 South Cooper Street.
Get your tax check and go to the mall.
Yes, or invest it or save it. Split it up.
Do a couple of things with it.
Yes.
But we thank you so much for coming out and being with us, giving us your time. And we thank you guys for watching Mentoring Business. We hope to see you guys next time. And remember, think forward and innovate life. Have a great day.